Today we're going to be working on the electrical installation of the bunny bungalow, so stay tuned. Welcome to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host Jerry Hansen, and we're at the bunny bungalow, and we're going to be working on the electrical in this episode. I want to install a solar panel and lay in some 12-volt automotive wiring for lights, and then I'm also going to install a couple of plugs for 110 so I can plug in an extension cord to this building and provide 110 or 120 voltage to the unit in case I need to put a bigger fan in there. Right now I'm just wiring it for a 12-volt oscillating fan to keep the rabbits cool during the summers. And the electrical 110 is primarily for use to be using the brooder and incubators in, because I'm going to be putting the brooders and incubators in this building because it's better climate control in here than it is in the barn, and hoping that will have better success with hatching. And so here we go. I have two of these boxes I'm going to be recessing into the ceiling, one over the front door, or the only door on the outside, and this will be a porch light, but it will be a 12-volt porch light. And I've got another box that'll be installing in the middle of the ceiling inside to shed light over the inside while I'm in there working when the sun goes down, especially in the short winter month daylight hours. I can come up and do some work up here. So I'm drawing a line around the circumference of the box, and then when I make my cut, I will cut just a hair in. To start off, I'm going to drill a pilot hole for my saw blade. Now we're going to use the jigsaw and cut that out. Now this box has these little flanges on them, and that's when you screw it in, these flanges come down tight and suck this right up to the ceiling and sets it in place. We're going to go ahead and set the box in this ceiling right here now. I suppose if you're a professional, you have a hole saw to be able to cut a perfectly round hole that size. I am not a professional. I don't have those kind of tools. I'm making do with what I've got, and that's this. Okay. And there you go. These little fixtures work well with drywall if you just want to add a light or a fixture in your ceiling somewhere. You just cut your hole to size and insert one of those devices, these little light bucket things, and pop them up there, screw them down. That's it. After digging around in my drawer full of electrical components, I came up with a plug, an outlet, and that will go below for servicing the incubators and brooders. This plug is a special safety plug, and that will be going directly in connection with the plug that the extension cord mounts to, and this will come off of this safety plug, so they'll be interwired, so if anything should have a ground fault in this plug, it'll activate the safety mechanism in this plug. So we got that taken care of. And then here is a piece I salvaged off of an old RV. This is the extension cord plug. You just plug your extension cord into there, the female end of it, and voila, we have temporary power to the shed. I'm designing this so the shed is not hooked up to power 24/7. It's just seasonal power, whatever, because I'm not wiring it to where it's going to be interconnected with the grid or anything. The 12 volt power is just going to be a couple little like a Harbor Freight solar panels or something like I can configure. I have a couple of 6 volt batteries going to hook up in series and generate 12 volts of electricity through the system. So I'll have a fan running, and to that fan I'm going to be adding this little leftover thermostat I had when I bought a new furnace, and I like my new electronic thermostat, so we just put that one aside and we'll have this thermostat installed in here, so it'll activate the fan when the temperature gets to the preset setting of that. So that's innovation on the new Bunny Bungalow, state of the art, like I said. So let's go ahead and at least get this installed first. After ruminating on this for a long time, I decided I'm going to go ahead and put the electrical right here. That way it's all condensed just in the short 3-foot area, so I'm not going to use a lot of wiring. This is the front window, and in this area is where my workbench is going to be. And underneath the workbench right here is going to be a feed bin. It's a trash can on casters that I'll have filled with 150 pounds of rabbit feed. And then on this side will be a column of my 2 drawers, which is a incubator, hatcher, and then below there'll be 2 drawers, deep drawers, for brooders, so I can brood chicks in one, ducks in another, or baby geese, or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. And that is why I'm going to install this box down here. Right here. Again, I'm going to use my marking pen and mark where I want the box. Now we put this box on, and this one goes right there. Now to seal this, once I get it all installed, I'm going to go ahead and lay a bead of caulking right along here and down the sides and then let it dry and put this on so I can have an absolute seal, so it doesn't leak inside. There you go. That is on. What's left to do is install the wiring and staple it to the wall up here. So I cannot put the other boxes in until I get the inside sheeting up, and I can't put the inside sheeting up until I put the insulation in. And the insulation will be the installation of the insulation will be the next video, so I'll be producing both videos simultaneously, one on the electrical, one on the insulation, so you'll see things appear and disappear and whatever between the 2 videos, so don't be confused. So let's get the wire in next for the 2 points of the plug. Coincidentally, I have approximately 8 feet of this wire, to be able to wire in the 4 feet I need. First of all, we gotta feed this wire through this little space right here. Okay, we're gonna pull this out. I'm gonna strip this wire down. Okay, we're gonna trim that off. Take my wire stripping tool. We're going to strip this wire. And notice this. This is your ground. The black wire will go to there, and the white wire will go there because of the color. Okay, while you were away, I was wiring in a whole bunch of wiring. So what I've got here is I've got 3 neutral wires that go to, one of each goes to, one goes to a porch light, one goes to the, and they're all 12 volt, and one goes to a light here in the room itself. And another one will go to, I discovered I have a water level indicator that is electrical. And it will be going to a control panel that everything wires in right here. I can just push a button and see what the water level of the tank is up there. And we'll wire that in later. I also have wired in a wire for a thermostat control. Which is going to operate a fan to keep the bunnies cool. The other wires are the hot wires to the water indicator, water level indicator, front porch light, and the light inside here. This wire right here, that will go up, and that's 110. That will be in a plug. I'm installing a plug up in the attic, and that plug is the plug I'm going to plug in a light to keep the water tank warm so it doesn't freeze. While I was in my library taking a break, I was looking at my aquarium, and I realized I have an aquarium water heater. I might end up using that and just plugging it into the farmer's outlet, the thermal cube, and then it'll come on when the power or when the temperature goes down, and then that aquarium heater will actually recess down into the water and keep the water warm. So it'll be all sealed system. So. But it doesn't do me good for multiple tanks if I want to add tanks, so I think I'm going to nix on the aquarium heater. But that's an idea for you guys. If you have 1 tank, just throw an aquarium heater in there. That should suffice. I think I'll just go ahead and stick with a light bulb. So far it looks like a jumbled mess. To you it looks like a mess. To me, I have it organized to exactly the way I want it. When I get the sheet, I'll have the holes cut for those wires to come out, and I'll be able to attach them when it comes time to attach. So let's work on that final sheeting, and we'll be done with the electrical. Okay, I've got this last sheet all trimmed, cut out, and I got my boxes in place for my electrical plugs and my control box. I cut the hole for size there for this control box, and my hole drilled for the thermostat wires. So So let's go ahead and try to get this thing in place. Yeah, I want to be able to wire in a charge controller via the solar panels and batteries. And I got power from the batteries. And all this will service this box, the control pad box. Okay, this much of the electrical is all installed. All I have to do is hook up the fixtures to those wires. But as far as it's in, it's in. So that completes this portion of the project of wiring the Bunny Bungalow. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.